All right, so we had a really nice dinner at the mall one night, and at the bottom, the mall is actually where the Burj Khalifa is, built underneath part of it, and our restaurant overlooked the fountain show, which was in fact designed by the same U.S. company that designed the Bellagio fountains. These fountains are different. I think the Bellagio one is like longer and bigger. These are slightly different. And the actual tower itself has a light show that is integrated into the fountain show. Pretty amazing. This is our view from the table that we had at a restaurant. Let me tell you a little about the restaurants. So alcohol is very regulated and controlled. You can usually only get it at specific lounges and restaurants that are frequented by U.S. or international guests, usually in hotels. So there are amazing, amazing restaurants at the mall, but they don't seem to be licensed to serve alcohol. So that's a first for a fancy restaurant with a view like this. Typically, if you go to Las Vegas, most restaurants really bank on the fact that you're going to be drinking and going to be enjoying your meal. But here, they have signature mocktails and signature juices and drinks. But let's just wait a minute and look at these fountains. Very reminiscent of what you see in Las Vegas. But again, the music, which I can't have here because it is licensed, and the Burj Khalifa itself, because it's mirrored, being part of the show. Here's what I meant to say. Just because there's no alcohol doesn't mean they don't make amazing drinks. This is a drink that I ordered, filled with delicious juices, dry ice, well presented, very fancy. This is him preparing it in order to serve it to me, and absolutely alcohol free. It was beautiful. It had everything in it except what in this country or most of the world would be, I don't know, vodka or rum or something like that. But there you go. It was a really nice meal. The food was top notch. Certainly world-class restaurants do exist in Dubai. But check ahead of time before you go to the restaurant to make sure that if you do want some wine with dinner, if you would like a cocktail before your meal, that it is one that does have and is able to serve alcohol because they are licensed. So the next day in the morning, we actually went back to the old souk, did some shopping, and we found this amazing stall in the, I believe it was the spice souk or the gold souk, and he made us t-shirts for me and my friend's family, with our names all written in Arabic in the front. It was very, very affordable. The value was amazing. You can see he has other things other than t-shirts. He has scarves, he has bags. But I just want to shout out to this guy. He was really great. He's an expat from obviously another country like most of the workers there. And again, we did this in the morning because we knew we had a big afternoon and evening planned for that day. We did some shopping, picked up some more souvenirs, and then we decided to, and had booked, the Red Desert Safari Tour. And let me tell you, it was awesome. I just went to the ladies' room. I'm thirsty. You want something to drink? Huh?
Yeah. Where did you go to that?
I'll wait right here. Yeah, go all the way down. All right. Here we go. Yes. We're at the Sahara Desert spot where we're going to go dune smashing. So we're not doing the ATVs, not me, but we are doing the Jeeps. So here we are. It's gonna be fun. And some snacks and things. I want some ice cream. I'm thirsty already just from the drive out here. We have about 10 more minutes before we take off. That definitely need a cold snack. For sure. So the Jeep, or the Jeep that you'll be riding in, picks you up at your hotel. It picked us up at the 25-hour hotel we were staying at. It brings you to this weigh station. It's not really a weigh station. It's what they call a tire deflating station. That's where your Jeep driver goes to deflate the tires. But while he's doing all that, of course, there are things available for you to do. There are ATV rides. And for a small fee, if your tour didn't include riding on an ATV or a dune buggy, for example, you can do it for a few minutes there. I actually think that if you don't book a tour and if you just go to these stations, you can probably just go to the desert and do the ATV and maybe do your camel ride like they were doing here and maybe not have to pay for the whole experience. We, however, did pay for the entire, they call it the Red Sands Dune experience, and it was supposed to include the dune smashing, but it would be in a Jeep. So all of what you're seeing here is that station where our tour guide deflates his tires. And while he's doing that, we are snacking, we are getting some water, we're walking around, we're watching other people take their ATVs out. There was enough time for us to do. It was a 10-minute ride, but it didn't really call to me at the time. And I knew we had a lot planned for the evening. But for those who chose to do some of the activities there, like the camel riding you see here, it was an opportunity to do that at one of these base stations before we take off into the Red Desert. These camels look a little, I don't know, I won't say not well cared for. They were just small and thin. The camels you'll see later on in this video that were included as part of our tour looked a lot healthier and more robust, at least to me, and I'm no veterinarian, I'm no vet. So, however, if this is what you have for the Red Desert, and you get to go to one of these stations, you can certainly just pay the fee for the dune buggies you see there and for the ATVs, and you can do your camel riding. You can also have snacks, buy some kerchiefs, get some souvenirs, and do it all from these stations before you take off into the desert. So as you can see here, we're now getting ready to head off. We're in the Jeep, and this is the same Jeep that picked us up at our hotel. There were 6 people in our Jeep. I think that is the maximum number of people in the Jeep. And from this point on, we are about to start our adventure. And yes, we did buy veils for our heads, and they did tie them in the culturally appropriate way. It's really meant to keep the sand out of your hair. And anyway, here is our Jeep now leaving the Deflation Tire Center and heading off.
20 years ago?
Seatbelt. Here we go. Come on, Jen, you're in the front seat.
I don't know. I got yours. Oh, he's really making it memorable. I have my camera on. Damn it. Now where'd it go? Oh. I lost my camera. Right here, please. Oh, that's nice.
Well, it's in the car, so don't worry. We'll get
I'm like, I think the police are behind us.
Shit, really?
So, have you ever gotten into an accident?
Oh my god. Wait, is there an accident? What happened?
Yep.
Jen, wave.
We're going with music.
Does this have airbags?
We're good.
Bag aja ke depan aja.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a bull bar.
All right, so we're all settling in. We're all in the Jeep. You can see the desert in front of us. They typically pair, at least that's what it appeared to me, two Jeeps together. This Jeep did have as you heard, a rollover bar, so they're pretty safe. So we had a partner Jeep. One takes turns, I guess, leading the other Jeep through different parts of the desert over the dunes. We put our seat belts on, and our driver has been doing this for a number of years. I have full trust. And there goes the lead Jeep, and we're going to be following him into the desert and over the dunes. I'm going to try to be slow with my descriptions of what this felt like. It felt a little like a roller coaster ride. No roads, no signs, just sand. Sand everywhere. And of course, you just need to trust that your driver is very skilled and experienced with driving through the dunes, which to a New Englander like me is a little like driving in snow, but without the ice. But sand shifts, and even with the deflated tires, he has to know how to ride the ridgeline and know how to find some type of, I guess, roadway. You can see us turning here. And even though you can't hear it, while we're on the Jeep and while he is driving, and I'll tell you folks, he's not going slow. We're not going slow. It's almost like a roller coaster. It's like a roller coaster ride. It goes up and down and it twists and it turns and the sand shifts under the tires and you tilt and you slide. So you definitely need to hang on and put your seatbelts on and just enjoy the ride. While we're doing this, he has the music piped up pretty loud. Couldn't do that here because it was obviously, going to have an issue with the licensing, but look at the dunes. I got a lot of footage. I'm only showing you a taste of what this was like. This is the real desert. Nothing else but sand. But beautiful. And by this time, it was later in the day. He picked us up at around 2:30. Took about an hour from the downtown Dubai area to take us to that base camp where they had to deflate the tires. But then after that, we headed out into the red desert here. So we all knew that sunset would be coming, shortly, and probably while we were out here having some fun. You can see a little bit of the speed here. And the Jeep just sinks into that sand. And I was wondering, how far are we going to go? How much further are we going to go? And what are we going to do? It was amazing. Like I said, a roller coaster ride. But I felt very comfortable on this ride. Here goes a ridge. I mean, he's obviously done it 2 times or 3 times a day, maybe, for many years. So he is very experienced at doing the Jeep dune bashing. But we were heading toward a point, a height, if you will. You can see the one ahead of us there. And I got the feeling that there was a kind of pre-planned route. I know the sand shifts with the wind, but they do this every day. So here we are, heading toward our eventual stop point, a very high point in the dunes, in the Sahara. I don't know if the video does this justice, but I felt very safe the entire time I was doing this. And that's the car that was leading us. We were the car behind the leading car this time. And now we stopped. Just to soak it all in. Just to see the desert in its vast enormity. It was really awe-inspiring. And once we stopped, we were met with people from the other Jeep that was traveling along with us, and with people who were there to help us just take pictures and to take in everything we had in front of us to look at. You can see everyone's cameras out. Pretty amazing. Nothing but sand. And then, given the opportunity to sandboard. Now, on our team, in our group, there was no one even willing to try it standing up as we would a snowboard. So everyone who was going to try doing it would be doing it from a sitting position. I, given my age, size, and, arthritis, knew better than to even give this a shot. But the others in our Jeep did, and this person and his partner were on our Jeep, were in our Jeep. They were 2 of the 6. Here she goes. Or he goes. It looked like fun. I live in the Northeast, so I've done a lot of sledding on snow. But it seems very different on the sand. You saw he did apply some wax. That's what he has in his hand, some wax to the bottom of the sandboard. There goes someone else giving it a try. No one on our tour, at least no one from our Jeep, tried to do it standing up. Here's me and my friend Jen after the sandboarding. We were taking pictures. We knew the sun was going to start to set. Our guide was amazing and took lots of pictures of all of us, just trying to get us to soak it all in, trying to get as many beautiful shots as he could, taking photos, and it was just us. There was also a man up there that would pose for pictures with you and allow you to pose for pictures with his hawk. So it was really amazing, and the sun was starting to set, and I just took in every second. After that, we went to the camp, the desert camp, which is part of the safari. And here's where our group got a chance to do camel riding. Now these camels look a lot different than the camels that we saw at the deflating station, or the tire deflating station. Well cared for, well guided, and everyone had an opportunity, if they wished, to take, a camel ride. I don't think I'd ever seen a camel close up like this. I didn't know that it had, joints that went one way in the front and another way in the back, and that's what made it possible for them to lie in the sand in a way that allowed riders to get on and off easily. They're huge, beautiful animals. You can see them here. And this is right outside of the entrance to the campsite. They made a lot of noise though. They were grunting or moaning or making sounds. They were not quiet animals. So you're probably wondering, Nidia, did you ride a camel? And I have to say, no, I did not. There's my friend Jen on a camel. She's just come back from her ride. I'm afraid that, I have a bad knee, bad leg. And I was a little afraid of getting on that camel and being able to get on and off, just as I was afraid of getting on the sandboard. So I figured, you know what? Stay safe and enjoy watching everyone else, but take the opportunity to take a few pictures with the camels. I mean, I really, really love the camels. I just hope they're well cared for and they're not just doing this, for us. I've been to Mykonos where the donkeys take you up and down. I've been to Rhodes where the donkeys take you up and down. And I'm very careful about animals. And I just want to make sure that animals that are just there are not just doing this for our pleasure. And I hope that if they are doing this, that they are well treated and that, you wouldn't know, are happy and loving their lives. So I don't think anything I saw there was abusive from an animal perspective. I think these animals are bred to do just this. They seemed very well cared for to me. And I wish I could have done it. I think I really wish I could have. So at the camp, appetizers. I believe we got some falafel, and we got a wrap filled with chicken and lettuce and maybe sort of a shawarma type thing. And then we had entertainment. And this entertainment was quite interesting to me because the only other place I saw this type of dancing was when I went to Turkey. Now this is called the Tenora dance. It's the Tenora dance, and you see it in Dubai and in the Arab Emirates, but it's a lot like the whirling dervishes of Turkey. In fact, it's a whirling dervish dance. So here you go. He was dancing very fast to some very loud, pulsating music. I'm not going to play the music because I think it is all licensed, and I just want to make sure that you see the skill, but marvel at the fact that this man, for our entertainment, must have spun without stopping for at least 10 minutes. You can see I keep editing in and editing out. He keeps dancing. He uses his hands. He has drums. And he's spinning and spinning. It's an art form. They're called the spinning dancers. They're part of every desert safari in Dubai. And I'm shocked. I can't even turn around 4 times without being dizzy. These people must live their lives and work very hard at becoming these types of dancers. Oh, and this is sort of the finale of the Tenora dance at the desert camp, where his skirt, the traditional skirt of the whirling dervishes, actually lights up, separates, and there you go. And you know, they never even mentioned entertainment as part of the tour that we had paid for that day. I was actually shocked that we got so much for our money, the value for the price of this tour. It was really about 6 hours of entertainment and fun. Here's the next entertainer. This man was a fire dancer. But now I need to say that when you saw us picking up those appetizers and having the wrap and the falafel, there was a full buffet filled with different types of salads, different meats, rice, all kinds of food, way more food than what we could ever eat. Everything, meats, lamb, vegetarian, tofu, salads, all kinds of delicious foods, and it was all included as part of a barbecue. They also had food stands where you could buy more meats, more grilled meats. There was a full bar. If you wanted to go and have a drink, you could go and have a drink, and they had beer and wine and other alcoholic beverages for purchase. And of course, when we walked in, they had these desserts that looked a little bit like, I'll just say it, donut holes, that you would dip in a type of sauce that they had there. The fire dancing is, again, another traditional form of Arab entertainment. I'm always amazed that people could do this type of entertaining and not get really, really hurt. You sit at tables that have beanbag chairs, so you're sitting low to the stage, sitting on these beanbags. And after a while, because of my age, I guess, and just physical status, I got up and then I went back on the sand, and here come the belly dancers. The belly dancers are the last part of the entertainment package. There were also shops for souvenirs and places where a couple of, kiosks where people were buying, bottles filled with sand that you could, customize for souvenirs, veils, all kinds of trinkets. A wonderful night. This desert safari far exceeded our expectations. It was great value for the money, but just the experience was amazing, and I'm so happy to share it with all of you. It was awesome.